appropriate that the theme of the convention is revolution, because there is, and I'm not sure it's a revolution, but it's an evolution. It's going on in the workplace. And it's been led by lots of great architects, lots of great designers, and some of the leaders like Steelcase, and promoting new thinking in our workplace. When I began my career in Des Moines in 1972, real estate was a commodity. People would care about location, but at the end of the day, what they cared about cost. Today, when we go talk to users, price, of course, it's always there. It's not, though, about price. It's about engaging the employees. So let's get at some of the issues. Absenteeism, you know about absenteeism, we understand that. $84 billion, that's the cost of absenteeism as understood in America today. It's a very, very big number. Caught my attention. What's even bigger? Presenteeism. It's when those folks that come to the office and they're not quite able to get in gear. They're just stress in their lives. And so when they're in the workplace, they're there, but they're not there. And the cost of that is enormous. And so that's the component that I believe we can begin to make true transformations in through the work that we bring as architects. What we're now learning, the research is there to substantiate that light makes a huge difference, huge difference. So why do we perseverate on this? Well, the studies are coming in. Now, one of the sub-frustrations you're going to hear me talk about is the challenge of measuring productivity change in a knowledge-based workforce. When it comes to natural light, the kinds of statistics you see here are very much grounded, and they're grounded in things that can be measured. We start with natural light as one of the drivers, and when one chooses to bring light into the workplace, then there is a responsibility to manage it. Nature. There is a whole science which has grown out around this. The technical expression is biophilia. And biophilia refers to something that we all intuitively know, we've known since the time we were children, that it's a human being's inherent connection with other living organisms. And so therefore there is this connection that we have that we absolutely seek out those kinds of experiences. And what we're now doing as architects is we put nature out there in every way we possibly can. Before we even had a clue about this stuff in terms of its real impact, the first building we ever did as a firm was for Wachovia Bank. Very low budget, modest building, but we put a garden in it and the employees loved it. Here you see in Chicago, River Point Tower, where you have this beautiful garden that looks out over the Chicago River and makes a huge difference. Let's move on to environment. This is broad and I'm going to make it a bit simplistic. Underfloor air is one of the most effective ways of delivering a beautiful quality experience for the employees. But here's the beautiful thing about underfloor air. Employees can control it. Today, it's been our experience that a range of corporations shared resources which comprise collaboration, dining, servers, marketing departments, really often comprises closer to 25% of the total space. So when we also think about purpose, it's not just sort of at a macro level, it's at a micro level. And we're trying to integrate the lessons we've learned about solving the job, fit for purpose. So the final attribute I'm going to touch on is activity. We know that we need to move. And so as architects, we need to find ways of helping to do that. So of course, most of our clients are building wellness facilities. Again, in the 80s, even in the 90s, you'd stick it in the basement, in the low-cost, cheap space. Now, it's recognized for the importance that it brings, and it's front and center. It's not just about activity, that's one component. The stair allows people to come together. You know, when you're getting on an elevator, there's a strange dynamic. People do not exactly have a conversation in elevators, but on a stair, you do. And so if you have a stair that's hidden, like would be a typical stair in a building like this, or hidden in a core, it's probably not used. If you make that stair visible, you can see the dramatic increase in use. And we're being told by our interior architect partners, if you bring natural light into that stair, it's used 6 times more than a typical interior core stair. In the retail industry, They can measure it. They can measure it through sales. And so when you translate those factors in, it starts to draw some conclusions. So this is really powerful. And if we get this right, then the entire planet is transformed. And we can make more beautiful, more fulfilling buildings.